Welcome to Luxury in Moderation, where we appreciate the finer things in life without going overboard. Today is just going to be a really simple and fast video where I can finally show how my luxury purses are displayed. I also have some of my packaging out. But first, let's talk about this gold and white shelf, which is actually hosting the bags, and it's 100% what I wanted. So there are a lot of gold and white shelves out in the market, but the thing I like about this one is that it is not symmetrical. So you can see here in this corner, there's an extra shelf right there. And then down here, there's also another additional shelf. So there's a little bit more interest to the shelf itself. It's not just straight across. Another thing that I really love about the shelf is how wide it is. So I wanted there to be enough space between the bags so that they weren't all smushed together. So I'm pretty happy with the size of the shelf. And you can actually see even I feel like it's a little bit bare in some places. There's definitely maybe room for a couple more bags, so there is space to grow. Now, in terms of quality, I will say that's not actually the best. I ordered this shelf from Wayfair and it is not the most refined shelf. You can see here I had to put the shelf together by myself and actually screw in these screws at every shelf area with an Allen screw, so it's kind of like IKEA furniture. And then once you get into some of the more details, these holes didn't even fit the screws that they provided because they were just a touch small. So on the whole, I can't say that this is the best quality, but I still went with this shelf because again, I was really looking for that asymmetrical shelf. And most of the ones that I saw on the market with, just that little bit of artistic flair were thousands of dollars, which I did not want to spend. So this was the only shelf that I found within that reasonable price range. So now let's get into the bags, working our way down. First, at the top here, we have my Hermes grooming bag. So it's all blue canvas, which is kind of hard to see in this lighting. But it is one of the biggest bags that I have, which is why it sits on top because it really needs that extra height. Then in the middle here, I have this miniature dress form, which I got as a present. So unfortunately, I don't know where it's from, but for some reason, it's giving me like Paris vibes. And then below here, we have a little China Airlines container that I received once. And then over on this side, I also have my two like hobo style bags, which is the Bottega Veneta Hobo, and then also my Louis Vuitton Galleria PM. And they are both, again, at the top there because I wanted to hang them from that rose gold bag holder that I have them both hung on, and it just needed the extra space, so they had the room to hang there. Next, we have my Chanel row, and we have, starting on the left, my Chanel Jumbo in the very light cream. I know some of you are going to make comments that, oh my gosh, it's like deformed. This side looks a little bit higher. I don't know. I've been wearing my bags and loving them, so they are being used. Then in the middle here, I have my bright pink walk. And then on the right, I have my navy blue classic flap in the medium size. And on this shelf, you can also see that I actually have my packaging for my Chanel classic flaps. This is the stuffing paper and the classic flap dust bag that this bag comes with. I have wrapped the chains around the back here because I didn't want it to rest on top of the bag and maybe the weight of the chains would make a dent on top. So this is kind of how I remove that weight from the bag and just kind of hold it back. I've done the same thing here with my Chanel Jumbo. So again, this is the original dust bag that I've used. Now moving down to the third row, this is what I'm calling my Louis Vuitton row for now. This is temporary because this is my trunk that hosts all of my fine jewelry. Once I get a new vanity, this trunk is actually going to move over there, and I'm going to have to fill this space with something. But I am going to show you guys how I have organized my luxury and fine jewelry in here in the next video. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Then in the middle here, I have my Louis Vuitton luggage tag, which I got at the special New York showing of their like traditional trunks. I can't remember what the show was called, but was able to get it hot stamped.
Entire life.
Oh my god.
Because I just end up. So if you do post anything, just ask that you use hashtag NYVVV.
NYVVV?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can put anything else you want in there, but NYVVV. That's the official hashtag of the event.
Are you only doing
Luggage tags and the card holders that we're selling here, and that's it.
On the two sides, I have these decorative pieces that to me kind of look like tiaras. They're actually supposed to hold wine, so that's why they're circular. And then I also have these gel packs kind of strewn everywhere. You can actually see I have a big one behind my trunk here as well, just to soak up the extra moisture around all of these luxury pieces so they don't get ruined in any way. But I just have my Twillies sitting in these wine holders for now. And then on the right here, I do have my Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis with my Fendace bin scarf tied around the handle. And I do think this area is kind of bare, so maybe I'll try to find something to put in the back here, or once I move the trunk around and rearrange the bags, I can kind of play around with the arrangements. That's one thing I love about having this shelf, is that I do get the ability to kind of move around the bags. If I get bored of the way that they are sitting for a while, maybe I don't want to have a whole row committed to my Chanel's, maybe I want to do it by color so I could have all the blues on one shelf or something like that. But it's a nice shelf size that I can play around with. The only thing that limits where I'm gonna put some bags is the height of the bag and the height of the shelf. So for example, the Birkin currently sits right on here because there's an extra tall opening. Unfortunately, I can't put it on this shelf or the shelf above because the handles are just a little bit too tall, and so that's why the Birkin is currently living on this shelf. There's a couple spots where there is a taller opening for the bags that need that height. So you can see here right next to it, I have my Hermes 90 by 90 centimeter scarf. I really have no idea how to display that, which is why it's just folded and sitting next to the Birkin for now. If you guys have any great ideas, I would love to hear it. I would love to find a way to showcase the scarf just as much as I'm showcasing the bags so that I can enjoy these pieces even when I'm not using it. Over here on this left-sided shelf, I have dressed up the background a little bit with a frame I have in a wedding dress, and then right next to it I have my Bottega knot clutch, and this one is sitting on a little display, and I can link this display item, which I got from Amazon, but it's just a little plastic display. You can put cards on it, you can put other things on it. I do have it sitting on some foam right here because I wanted to make sure the plastic edges didn't ruin the fabric of the Bottega knot clutch. But the good thing about this plastic thing is that it is adjustable. You can actually make it wider or thinner depending on your bag size or whatever you want to display. So I thought that was super useful. And then moving down here, these are my Forever Roses, and then also just my clochette from the Birkin, which lives in the pouch because I really don't use it. Finally, moving down to the lowest level of the shelf, we have my 90s Dior bag, which sits perfectly in this really thin section. There's not many bags I think that would fit in here, especially because I don't love mini bags. I'm never gonna have such a small bag. So it could probably fit, wallets on chains, clutches, and maybe SLGs, but otherwise it's pretty thin. Moving down here, I also decided to display some of my SLGs because I had the space on the shelf and I didn't want it to look kind of empty. So again, you can see here the little plastic display from Amazon. I have my Victorine wallet from Louis Vuitton looking a lot more worse for the wear, which is why I have not used it for a very long time. This Empreinte leather does get quite dirty. And then I just have 2 coach wristlets sitting behind there. Moving over to the middle, this is actually a rhinoceros that was handmade in South Africa, which I picked up when I visited there. It was such a wonderful experience. And then finally, we have my Garden Party 36 bag sitting over here. It also needed that extra tall space, which is why it's sitting in this corner of the shelf. So with all the bags here, I also wanted to organize all of my packaging, and that's why I have on this wall some towers of boxes. I thought it might be kind of fun to go through what each of the boxes held given their size, see if you guys could guess along. Before we get into that, if you like this kind of content, if you love luxury bags and learning about luxury brands, please feel free to like this video and subscribe below. Okay, so let's start with this completely orange tower. Right next to it, there's actually an unboxing that I need to do with this one in the corner, so that box will be added to the tower when I am done unboxing that. Let's start with the biggest box on the bottom. So let's see if I can guess this right. It actually looks like this one is just a touch bigger than this one. And I know the 2 biggest boxes held my 2 biggest Hermes bags. One is the grooming tote and the other one is the garden party. So because this one is just slightly taller, I'm going to guess that this is the box that the grooming bag came in. And then this is the postcard that I got from the Hermes Waikiki store when I went to Hawaii on vacation. This is actually what the store looks like. Very tropical vibes. This box is actually the box that my Birkin 30 came in. So as you can see, it's actually quite a lot smaller than their biggest boxes. I had assumed that, you know, the Birkin would come in a massive, massive box, but it's actually not the biggest, but really wonderful memories of it. I took this bag back from Paris, which is why it's actually dented because it was sitting in my suitcase. And then moving on to this postcard, you can see that it is from the Cannes store, from the French Riviera. Really wonderful store. I hope I get to go back sometime. This one is another Hermes item, which I actually haven't shown on my channel yet. It is a ready-to-wear item, and that's why you can see here this box is actually collapsible. You can actually fold it down flat. Here we have, of course, a round box for a Twilly. Here is one of my shoe boxes that either the extra sandal or the Oran sandal came in, or maybe even my Legend sandals. I have a lot of Hermes sandals. This is the box for a soap that was in the Twilly scent. You can see perfumed soap. It was only 30 euros. This one is the box that my Mosaic creamer came in. So if you haven't seen that unboxing, I'll link that video here. This little box is the box that my slim zippy wallet came in. Let me link that video as well. Then these 2 small boxes were the Click H bracelets that I have, and then finally another Twilly box. So that is the completely orange tower. Let's now move over to what I'm calling my bumblebee tower because it is orange and black, so it's Hermes and Chanel. So that big box on the bottom, that would be the box that my garden party came in. Then this black box is for the classic jumbo. The next orange box up is another shoe box. This next Chanel box is the classic black medium size box. This thinner box is, I think this is the box that the Oran sandals came in. So it kind of looks like a shoe box, but it's pretty thin, and Oran sandals are pretty thin, so they don't need that much space. I think it's that one. Then we have another Chanel box here. So this is the one that my walk came in. Then we have 2 thin square boxes from Hermes, and you can see that one is slightly smaller than the other one. I believe this one is the box that my silk scarf came in, 90 by 90 centimeters. The smaller box on top is the box for the Mosaic square tray that I have. And finally, we have the smallest Chanel box that the CC pouch came in. I do have a random camellia here. It's not that sticky anymore, so I think I'm just resting it here, but maybe I have a lot of other camellias, I think, living inside of these Chanel boxes that I could kind of like tape everywhere. And then finally, we have my Louis Vuitton slash kind of random tower. It definitely doesn't look right to me, so let me know if you have any suggestions, but I just have it in kind of like size order for now. So this was a very, very large and thin Louis Vuitton box that my Louis Vuitton artist gave me when he gave me my sketch painting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link that video. This is the Louis Vuitton box that my LV trunk came in, and then this is the LV box that the Pochette Matisse came in. Then we have a Tiffany blue box. This is a very thin square box. What was actually in this, it was actually just a gift card. And then we have a smaller Louis Vuitton box. So this was the Victorine wallet box. Then we have this even smaller box from Louis Vuitton. This was the luggage tag box. And then finally up here, we have the Fendace box that the Twilly scarf came in. And then behind here, I actually have some other boxes as well. This is a Tiffany blue box that has a Christmas ornament inside. So I will take that out when I have a Christmas tree. And then these two boxes are from Graf. This one was a gift when I got engaged and they gave me a little Graf wedding planner. And then this one was for Chinese New Year. There's actually red envelopes in this box, so it's just a nice present that our essay sent us. So these are all the luxury packaging boxes that I have currently. You'll notice that they don't exactly match up to everything I have on display. For example, my Louis Vuitton Galleria PM box is that older box packaging in the dark brown that Louis Vuitton used to have, and that's not currently with me. But I hope this was super interesting. If you guys have any questions about any of my bags or boxes or display or anything in this video, please let me know. I would love to answer them for you and be a resource for you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next videos, including my fine jewelry and luxury jewelry collection organization in this Louis Vuitton trunk. I can't wait to see you in the next video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!